On a cool autumn evening in Chicago, the city lights reflected beautifully across the calm waters of the Chicago River. Thousands of people crossed the famous pedestrian bridge every day, but for Mason Carter, it was more than just a bridge. It was the place where he escaped after long days as an architect. Every Friday evening, he stood there watching the sunset, believing that the city looked most beautiful when the sky turned golden. One Friday, while taking photographs of the skyline, he noticed a young woman sitting alone on a nearby bench. She was sketching the bridge in a notebook, completely unaware of the busy crowd around her. Her name was Ava Mitchell, a 27-year-old artist who dreamed of opening her own gallery one day. As a strong gust of wind swept across the river, Ava's sketchbook slipped from her hands and landed near Mason's. He picked it up carefully. "I'm guessing this belongs to you," he said with a smile. Ava laughed softly. "Unless you've secretly become an artist." That simple joke made them both laugh. Instead of leaving, they spent the next 2 hours talking while watching boats glide beneath the bridge. They discovered they both loved photography, jazz music, bookstores, and quiet evenings by the river. Before saying goodbye, Mason pointed toward the bridge lights. "Same place next Friday." Ava smiled. "I'd like that." Every Friday became their tradition. Sometimes they walked through Millennium Park. Sometimes they shared deep dish pizza at a small family restaurant. Other evenings they simply watched the city lights shimmer across the river without saying a single word. For both of them, silence had never felt so comfortable. Months passed. As winter covered Chicago with snow, their friendship quietly became love. One snowy evening, Mason surprised Ava by decorating the bridge railing with tiny white lights and handwritten notes describing his favorite memories with her. She read each one slowly. "The day you laughed at my terrible joke. The day we watched the first snowfall together. The day I realized every beautiful place became more beautiful because you were there." Tears filled Ava's eyes. No one had ever loved her so thoughtfully. Life seemed perfect until Ava received an unexpected opportunity. A famous art gallery in Paris invited her to spend an entire year studying under one of Europe's greatest painters. It was the opportunity she had dreamed about since childhood, but accepting it meant leaving Chicago and leaving Mason. For days, neither of them knew what to say. Finally, they met once again on the bridge where everything had begun. "I don't want to lose you," Mason admitted. Ava gently held his hands. "If our love is real, 1 year won't be stronger than forever." The following week, Ava left for Paris. Every Sunday they video-called each other. Every Friday at sunset, they both visited a bridge. Mason stood on the Chicago River Bridge. Ava stood on the Pont Alexandre III in Paris. Separated by thousands of miles, they watched the same sunset from different continents. 1 year later, on the evening Ava returned home, she quietly walked toward the Chicago Bridge. Mason wasn't there. Disappointed, she looked across the river. Suddenly, all the lights on the bridge turned on at once. Soft music began playing. Mason appeared at the opposite end of the bridge, carrying a small wooden box. As he slowly walked toward her, he smiled. "I counted every Friday until you came home." When they stood together once again, he opened the box. Inside was a simple diamond ring. "Ava Mitchell, every bridge has 2 sides, 2 people, 2 journeys, but only one destination. Will you spend forever crossing every bridge in life with me?" Ava couldn't stop smiling through her tears. She nodded. Yes. The people walking across the bridge stopped and applauded as the city lights reflected across the river below. Years later, they often returned to that same bridge, holding hands while watching another Chicago sunset. Whenever someone asked why they loved that bridge so much, Mason would smile and say, "Because this wasn't the place where we first met, it was the place where we chose each other, again and again, every Friday."